Okay, this box here has been received. I got this from Lunati. This is a continuation of the problems that I've been having with our high-speed lifters for over the past year. This is the second set that I had sent out. Apparently they really said there's nothing that they can do about them. I've documented that there are problems with these lifters. I predicted in a YouTube video that I was going to have problems with a certain bank. The first set that I had sent out, they sent back a new set. You have 16, I sent 8 of them out. They came back absolutely perfect. No problems. They're in my car now. The driver's side bank is absolutely quiet. Prior to that, I had had issues with that side with irregularity as far as noise, valve lash, the whole 9 yards. They brought those back, gave me a new batch, new set. I put those in a while back, and they've been perfect. Shortly after that, the driver's side started making noise. That is these. Okay? They sent me another set. When I installed those, I had issues with them even before I started the engine up. It's been documented on YouTube. It has a date on it. The ones that I sent out are these here. Apparently, they didn't even bother reassembling them. I mean, they're pretty much useless to me now. There's nothing that I can do with them. They said that they didn't find anything wrong, and the other set that I had were absolutely dirty. That's totally impossible. It's not true. There's issues with these lifters that they do not want people to know about. When I put the second set in, if you go to my YouTube video, you can clearly see me describing the problem and predicting that there is an issue. There's going to be another video that I'm going to put with my car idling, and you can clearly hear the lifter noise on the passenger side. I don't know if they have tolerance problems with these. I don't know if they have some kind of QA/QC issues with a certain batches. I don't know, but there is a problem, and I expect to be compensated for all the trouble that I've been going through to try to resolve this problem, thinking most of the time that it might be me, but I've eliminated all the human error that I possibly can. And it comes down to these. As you can see, this is totally unopened. I haven't touched it in any way. Still has the seals on them. So I'm going to attempt to open these and see what they left me. Now apparently these are rebuildable. And that's what I was asking them to do. But I was so pressed for time that I actually had to buy 8 more instead of waiting on these to be rebuilt. But my instructions to them were, I have to buy another set, but I want these rebuilt. And I guarantee you these are not rebuilt. They're pretty much useless to me now. There's nothing that I can do with them at all. So I'm going to open these, and we're going to take a look at them. Now, these lifters are not cheap. Your average lifters run you about $200 for a good set of 16. These cost me $700. Okay, so in other words, when I bought the other set, I'm into this for $1,000 now, and all I've had was trouble that they won't even return my calls. The company who sold them to me, which is Lunati, is not the real company. The original company who is the manufacturer is Morel/Callies. They will not return my calls. I can't even get a phone number from Lunati. I cannot get a representative from them to even talk to me because they know they're wrong and they don't want to get backed into a corner, but now I'm seeking legal action. Now I'm going to open these up, take a look at them, and you make your own opinion. Okay, you're going to have to excuse me a little bit because I'm trying to do this one-handed and open this and hold the camera at the same time since I really don't have any help and I want to get this done as soon as possible. So just have to bear with me a little bit. I'm gonna set you down, open the blade up. Alrighty. One, two, sorry, I went off camera. I'm trying to make sure I don't cut myself. My knife is incredibly sharp. I'm concentrating more on that than anything else. You should have it all. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is what we have. Like I said, they're not even built. And the reason why I can't rebuild these, basically, is if you see this right here, this hole, these are what you call link bar lifters. Most lifters are just an individual lifter. There's nothing to them. You know, this plunger and everything like that goes back into here. But the reason why I can't rebuild these back to the way they are supposed to be is because these holes here, the reason why they call them link bar lifters is because there is a stabilizer bar that goes between these two. And that does two things. It stabilizes the lift at high speed, and it also keeps these lifters from turning 90 degrees on the cam and wiping your whole cam out. Well, obviously they're not usable now because of the fact that they weren't rebuilt. Now I'm going to inspect these, and I'm a pretty seasoned machinist, and I'll be able to tell whether or not, like they said, these were scored or filthy dirty, or if it was something from manufacturing. But what I can see through just the plastic itself right now is nothing. To me, I don't see anything that it wouldn't be any worse than normal break-in or anything like that. But I'm going to inspect these, and if need be, when we go to court, we can have a professional inspect them as well. But I'm going to sign off on this now, and y'all take care. Okay, here's another update. These are the link bars that I was explaining that go between each lifter to stabilize it. Okay, kind of hard to see, but I can't get the focus good. But I couldn't rebuild these if I wanted to. You know, even if it was half-assed. Number one, you have the lifter itself, and you have your plunger here. Now that plunger should be it's sitting about right here now. If you look at it in a cross section, right, you can see it's all the way up in here. This actually should be mounted. See it? That's it right in that hole. That hole you should be able to see straight through. Now, trying to get it to focus a little better. It won't. It doesn't want to. But this plunger here should be down about right here, and there's a retaining clip that keeps that in place so it doesn't pop out on you. Well, even if I wanted to rebuild these and test them without a link bar, which would be real stupid, I don't even have the original retaining clips that came with these lifters. And they should not be damaged in any kind of way when you take them off. You can ask anybody, any mechanical type of person. These retaining clips that hold these down are usually taken apart with a needle nose tool or something like that, and they get disassembled, and they can be reused over and over and over again until you bend it ridiculously or you break them. But that doesn't really happen. But I can't even rebuild these. This one's totally together now. If I had retainers and I had a way to rivet these back together, I could actually do that myself. But this is one of the things that they did not do, and I was forced to buy another set, which I don't need. These should have been replaced free of charge or rebuilt based on the prior problems that I have had with these lifters. These are $700 lifters, not no cheap ass. Sorry about that. I reached the limit on my video. But anyway, as you can see, it's very, very high tolerance. This one actually, see, this is what happens if you don't have the retainer. It falls out. Now, based on the fact that they said it was filthy dirty, I know you can't really see, but this, it came in there is no scoring on this. And if they were dirty, if my oil was dirty like they said, and it scored the inside of this, it would score the outside. These are not scored with dirt, debris, or anything like that. That engine was absolutely perfectly clean when these went in. I don't know where they're getting this kind of information. I guess they figured, I'm some kind of dumbass who doesn't know anything. But I've been a mechanic. I was an ASE master mechanic. I've built race engines. This here is nothing wrong with it, as you can see. If it was messed up in here as far as scoring, it would show out here as well. Okay, I was running out of memory on my phone. That's what's happening. But as I was saying, with this here, if there's any scoring in here, it was due to manufacturing, because you can clearly see. I mean, this thing, it's got miles on it, and if it's bad enough to blow tolerance in here, there would be evidence out here as well if the oil was dirty, as they claim. They just don't want to admit the fact that there's something wrong with these. There we go. There's a better shot right there. And as you can see, there is no scoring on this. That baby is clean. And they're all like this. Sorry, yeah, it keeps going in and out of focus. This isn't a very good format to do this in, but as you can see when it was in focus, that there's really no scoring on this thing. It's in great shape. Again, if there's any kind of scoring or problems within this, it has to do with tolerance and their own QA/QC, not mine. Okay, now in conclusion to what I was saying about the lifters, one thing that I failed to mention was nothing came with the package as far as any kind of documentation as to what was wrong with them. So with me not knowing what's wrong with them and them not explaining it, I can't use them either. You figure with they would have some kind of documentation, especially when you're spending $700 for a set of lifters. Well, actually, I'm into it now for about $1,000. But at the end of the day, I had them sent out to be checked. And there's no summary, there's no kind of explanation. All I get was a box with my old parts in it, and some of the parts are actually missing. So that's, in a nutshell, there's no excuse for any of that.